Imagine losing everything before you're even old enough to understand the world. No family, no fortune, no powerful name. Just a young orphan standing alone with nothing but determination and an extraordinary mind. Most people would have accepted defeat, but not Alexander Hamilton. From the poverty of the Caribbean to the halls of power in a newly independent America, Hamilton's journey is one of the greatest success stories in history. He became a fearless soldier in the American Revolution, the trusted advisor of George Washington, the brilliant author of the Federalist Papers, and the first U.S. Secretary of the Treasury. His ideas laid the foundation for America's financial system and helped shape the nation that exists today. But Hamilton's life was far from perfect. His rise was marked by fierce political rivalries, personal scandals, and a shocking duel that ended his life at just 49 years old. How did an orphan with no wealth or connections become one of the most influential founding fathers in American history? And why does his legacy continue to spark debate more than 2 centuries later? In this documentary, we'll uncover the remarkable story of Alexander Hamilton, from his humble beginnings to his extraordinary achievements, and the dramatic events that changed America forever. Stay with us as we explore the incredible life of the orphan who became a founding father, Alexander Hamilton. From orphan to founding, Father Alexander Hamilton's story began under the most difficult circumstances imaginable. Born around 1755 or 1757 on the Caribbean island of Nevis, Hamilton entered the world with little hope of a bright future. His parents were never legally married, and during that time, children born outside marriage often faced prejudice. When Hamilton was still a child, his father abandoned the family, and soon afterwards, his mother died from illness. Orphaned at a young age, Hamilton had no wealth, no family support, and no clear path forward. To survive, the young Hamilton worked as a clerk for a trading company on the nearby island of St. Croix, while organizing cargo, keeping financial records, and dealing with merchants from around the world. He gained a remarkable understanding of business and international trade. His intelligence quickly became obvious. He read every book he could find and taught himself subjects that many people only studied in school. A turning point came in 1772 when a devastating hurricane struck St. Croix. Hamilton wrote a powerful description of the disaster that was published in the local newspaper. The article impressed community leaders so much that they collected money to send him to North America for an education. It was a life-changing opportunity that transformed the course of his future. Hamilton arrived in New York in 1773, where he studied at King's College, now known as Columbia University. But his studies were interrupted as tensions between the American colonies and Great Britain continued to rise. Hamilton strongly believed that the colonies deserved freedom and began writing essays defending the cause of independence. His words revealed not only his intelligence, but also his passion for creating a stronger and fairer nation. When the American Revolutionary War began, Hamilton did not remain in the classroom. Instead, he joined the Continental Army. He formed an artillery company and quickly earned a reputation for bravery, discipline, and leadership. His courage on the battlefield caught the attention of General George Washington, who appointed the young Hamilton as one of his closest military aides. Working alongside Washington gave Hamilton an inside view of the challenges facing the Revolutionary Army. He wrote important military correspondence, planned operations, and advised the commander-in-chief during some of the most difficult years of the war. Although he appreciated Washington's trust, Hamilton also wanted to prove himself in combat. In 1781, during the siege of Yorktown, he finally received the opportunity to lead soldiers into battle. His successful assault on a British fortification helped secure the American victory that effectively ended the Revolutionary War. With independence achieved, Hamilton turned his attention to building the new nation. The United States had won its freedom, but it faced enormous problems. The government was weak, the economy struggled, and the states often disagreed with one another. Hamilton believed that only a strong national government could keep the country united. In 1787, he became one of the delegates to the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. Although he disagreed with some of the final compromises, he strongly supported the new Constitution. Together with James Madison and John Jay, Hamilton wrote many of the famous Federalist Papers. These essays explained why the Constitution should be approved and remain among the most influential political writings in American history. When George Washington became the first president of the United States in 1789, he appointed Hamilton as the nation's first Secretary of the Treasury. It was perhaps the most important role of Hamilton's career. The young country faced enormous financial difficulties, with heavy debts left over from the Revolutionary War. Hamilton believed that a stable economy was essential for the nation's survival. He developed an ambitious financial plan that included paying the national debt, establishing the credit of the federal government, creating a national bank, and encouraging manufacturing and trade. Many politicians strongly opposed his ideas, especially Thomas Jefferson, who believed that the federal government should have less power. Their disagreements became some of the most famous political rivalries in American history. Despite the criticism, many of Hamilton's policies succeeded. Investors began trusting the United States. Government finances became more stable, and the nation's economy started to grow. Historians often credit Hamilton with laying the foundations of the modern American financial system. Hamilton's personal life, however, was far from perfect. In 1797, journalist James Callender published details of Hamilton's affair with Maria Reynolds. Rather than allowing political enemies to spread rumors, Hamilton publicly admitted the affair in what became known as the Reynolds pamphlet. Although he defended himself against accusations of financial corruption, the confession badly damaged his personal reputation and caused great pain for his family. Tragedy struck again in 1801 when Hamilton's eldest son, Philip, was killed in a duel while defending his father's honor. The loss devastated Hamilton and his wife, Elizabeth Schuyler Hamilton. Friends noticed that Hamilton was never quite the same after his son's death. Political tensions continued to grow between Hamilton and Aaron Burr. Their rivalry had lasted for years, and after Hamilton criticized Burr during the 1804 election, Burr challenged him to a duel. On the 11th July 1804, the two men met in Weehawken, New Jersey. During the duel, Hamilton was shot and mortally wounded. He died the following day at the age of just 49. Although Hamilton's life ended in tragedy, his influence never disappeared. His financial ideas helped establish the economic strength of the United States, and his writings continue to shape discussions about government and democracy. Today, his portrait appears on the $10 bill, and his remarkable story has introduced millions of new people to history through books, documentaries, and the award-winning musical Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton proved that humble beginnings do not determine a person's future. An orphan with almost nothing became one of the most influential architects of a new nation. Through intelligence, determination, courage, and relentless hard work, he left a legacy that continues to shape America more than 2 centuries after his death. His journey from poverty to the highest levels of government remains one of history's most inspiring stories, a reminder that extraordinary determination can overcome even the greatest obstacles. Alexander Hamilton's story reminds us that greatness is not determined by where you begin, but by the vision, courage, and determination you carry within you. From a poor orphan on a small Caribbean island to one of the most influential founding fathers of the United States, Hamilton transformed a young nation through his ideas, leadership, and unwavering ambition. Although his life ended tragically in a duel, his legacy lives on in America's financial system, its constitution, and the institutions he helped build. His remarkable journey continues to inspire historians, leaders, and dreamers around the world. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next journey into history. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Which part of Alexander Hamilton's life inspired you the most? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next history documentary.